Hey everyone, Charles John here, CEO of World Class Media, and I have something very special for you today, which is how to transform your city from dirt poor to crazy rich. You may have seen the movie Crazy Rich Asians, and I'm going to tell you an amazing story called the Singapore Miracle. This is a short story about how a person named Lee Kuan Yew took the country. He's the only person I know of that has actually taken a country from dirt poor all the way to crazy rich, to immense richness, right? Immense prosperity. It's the only person I know who's taken a country from sleeping on literally poverty, sleeping on dirt, starving to death, and now they are crazy rich. Okay, so here are 3 things that Singapore did to go from third world to first. And I believe any city can follow these same steps to implement these winning strategies. And Lee Kuan Yew was an amazing chess player, and he knew that there was communism all around him. There was China, he's just a tiny little island right next to a huge communist country that could just eat him up in a second. He said, I'm a shrimp, but it's my job to become a poisonous shrimp, to make it not worth the effort for them to try and take us over, right? So, and he had immense opposition. Not only that, he had other parties, other people trying to take over the country, and he had to go through that. Like I say, the way out is the way through, to bring it up to the level it is today. And I believe that the GDP is over 60,000 per person, and went from, way low to now way above what it is even in the United States. And they are one of the #1 shipping, if not the #1 shipping country in the world, and have the #1 port in the world. And 2, they also have one of the lowest crime rates in the world. I believe they're like 2 or 3, which is amazing for their country. So let's get into the Singapore Miracle. And for instance, one impoverished place in the 1960s to immense wealth today. Let's break down the 3 powerful moves they made. A stands for architect better resources for your population. Architect better resources. So this is where you would allocate 33% of your budget should go to essential resources like clean water, food, oil, metal, and efficient shipping, architecture, etc., right? How long does food last? Now, this is key. You want to move away from agriculture, which is short term, right? Dirt, making food, which will expire really quickly, right? To more of a industrial, right? Which is industrialization, which basically means manufacturing, building things, right? Think of short term agriculture. Food lasts a very short time period. It expires, it dies, whatever, right? Whereas how long does metal last? How long does oil last? Centuries, right? Architecture, if it's done right, will last centuries. You want to move away from the short-term agriculture to long-lasting industries. And you want to focus on industries that create many, many jobs. So this would be economic stability would be the goal through creating industry, travel, transportation, busing, trains, planes, automobiles, airports, aqueducts for clean water, anything that increases the standard of living for your population. So architect better resources. Okay, B stands for better technology. So you want to devote the next 33%, 1/3 of your budget to advanced technology. Now, you want to ensure global competitiveness, right? And what I'm talking about here is going global. So technology that will, include efficient shipping, include technology that will speed up your which would be better resources, but also you want to make justice fair and swift, right? It shouldn't take years and years to get justice. And plus, you want to prioritize making it a safe place for your investors. Investors are not going to invest with you if they do not think that their investment will last, or they do not think that you are a stable country. They do not think that you have swift and fair justice. You need to have a swift and fair justice system, and technology can help you do that. There's AI that can speed up the process. There's all kinds of, technology, anything you can think of that to speed up that process can be implemented, and you should focus 1/3 of your budget toward increasing the speed of justice and law and order, etc. Police, anti-corruption, super vital to increasing investor activity. Okay, investors want to know that their money is safe and secure. Next, C, communication and education. Finally, C is communication and education. This is where you focus on communication and embrace global English. So what Singapore did is they decided to change their language to English and their mother tongue. So they allowed anybody in school to learn English plus their mother tongue. They knew they couldn't just say everybody's going to learn English, that's it. So they knew they had to add their mother tongue. So he recommends, Lee Kuan Yew recommends, you teach English plus the mother tongue of the country that you're in. So by doing this, it moved them into a #1 position to start competing globally with other people because they spoke English, and they turned into an international powerhouse. For example, he contacted the Switzerland, who was only working at the time with the open markets from the daytime, and Singapore was effectively open in the nighttime. So they said, why don't you give us the evening? We'll keep the stock market open in the evening, and we'll have a Singapore market. So they did that, and it brought in tremendous wealth. So communication and education. Now you want to focus on attracting the most skilled and technologically advanced people to your country, right? And this trifecta, A, B, and C, turned Singapore into a global economic superpower, right? And they're a force to be reckoned with. Their leadership and decisive action is brilliant. You ought to memorize these 3 things, A, B, and C, because you can use them to turn your city from broke to crazy rich, just like Singapore. So that's the goal of this video. I want to teach you the ABC. You ought to memorize, architect better resources, better technology for swift and fair justice, and C, communication and education. Focus. Those 3 quadrants of your budget should be 1 for resources, B, better technology, anti-corruption, swift justice, and finally C, communication and education. Bring some of the best education in the world, train your people to be the best in the world, and they will bring technology to the rest of the world. Focus on creating entrepreneurs, laws that accelerate people becoming entrepreneurs, and you will get that. So penalize non-production and reward production and growth. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this, and I hope it sinks in. Thanks for